I think it'll be very soon. As I'm speaking about this, he's going through his rehab progression. Everything's going very smoothly. April 15th, we are going to want to get him to full baseball activities without sort of a rehab progression in between those activities, kind of normal everyday play. And then once he does that, we're going to need him to go out into the minor leagues and get his timing back behind the plate. And I think once we see that, we're going to know we've back to the player that we had at the beginning of spring training when he was poised to impact the roster. And I think that's all going to happen very quickly. So I think on a week-to-week basis, we're going to keep an eye on how it's going with him. And the sooner he gets back into his timing, I think the sooner he's going to make the team. But he's doing very well in coming back from the injury, and he was looking better than ever prior to the injury. It was just really as bad a timing as you could have.
In a typical week where there are 7 games, how often can he catch for you?
Well, it's been an interesting conversation with him because most catchers are very, very light on offense, and they're back there for defense. And that's what 70, 80% of the catchers are kind of like around professional baseball. But when you have a talent like him, where he's one of the best hitters in the minor leagues, and he's a switch hitter, and he happens to be a great defensive catcher, you want to take some care to keep his bat in the lineup and keep him healthy. So ever since he was drafted, we've been sure to have him spend about 3 days a week, either at first base or DH, and really learn the position of first base as well as he can, which he's already done. He's a very good athlete and a good baseball player. So I don't know. We'll see. I think that when he's in the big leagues, kind of like in the minor leagues last year, we're probably going to look at trying to catch him about 4 days a week, keep his legs fresh, keep his bat in the lineup every day, hopefully, if he's hitting like we know he can. And, that's probably adds up to 110, 120 games a year, which is really what most catchers do nowadays.
You said in spring training you felt like Grayson Rodriguez just had a couple of boxes to check before a big league debut. As we tape this, first 2 AAA starts have been dominant. What boxes are left to check?
It's phenomenal. One thing that we haven't been able to do with him yet is stretch him out. We've had to be very, very careful with platforming his innings on a year-to-year basis. In 2020, the minor league season was canceled, so all he had was the alternate site, and we were going from that, which was like 40 innings, to all of a sudden almost a full minor league season in 2021, when he threw more like 110 innings, 120, depending on how you count it. And that's a pretty big jump. And now we're looking at an even bigger jump this year. Because last year was such a huge jump, we kept him at 5 innings, but I think we're going to start to see him stretch out a little bit more and start covering the 6th or 7th inning. But he's had 2 starts in AAA. They've both been phenomenal. It's coming off a little bit of a rusty camp for him in spring training, so it's been great to see. And fingers crossed he's knocking at the door. But he's a phenomenal kid, a talent. I can't wait to see him up here.